This is WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington.
Good evening and welcome live from the CW. I'm Sam Dick.
And I'm Jennifer Palumbo. It has been a wet couple of days. It's day 2 of the Big Blue Madness campout, and Dave Baker is in the middle of it all. So we'll be checking in live with him coming up.
You know, it's exciting to begin with, and then you throw Dave Buzz Baker in the middle of it. It's out of control.
You never know what will happen.
Live report coming up on that. All right, trending right now. Let's take a look at that. Authorities say a Kentucky police officer has been arrested as part of an investigation into an alleged prostitution ring. State police say that Sergeant Benjamin R. Walden was one of 3 people arrested.
That story is the most clicked on right now on WKYT.com, followed by a Lexington daycare worker cited over a smack for snack game and a deer car attack caught on camera. Here's what we're following right now at 6:30. A new state audit finds numerous problems with the Kentucky Department of Criminal Justice's training, including overspending. WKYT's Victor Puente has the latest.
Having people engaged in the educational process is absolutely important, and we think that over the next few months, years, we're going to see improved academic performance for all students.
Test scores are in from the Kentucky Department of Education with some bad news for Fayette County among them. Bridget Blom-Ramsey, a top Kentucky educational leader, joins us live to talk about reforming the state's education system. We look forward to talking to her.
That's right, and the water is back on for people in part of Rockcastle County following a break in a water line. Find out what took crews so long to fix the leak. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell joins us now. We've seen quite a bit of water in the past few days.
We've got no leak out there. We've just coming wide open the past few days, and it will continue, unfortunately, as we head into the weekend and the chilly, damp conditions.
I'm even looking forward to next week, but we don't want to go there yet.
We got to get through this little bump on the road.
Yes, get us through this.
With all the mess and the gray skies that we've had out there, and that's exactly what we've got. For the most part on our sky cam, but though, over the past 30 minutes or so, we started seeing a little more sunshine. The sky started giving way to at least partial clearing here in Lexington, which rebounded the temperature up from 61, which is where we were for most of the day, or at least the afternoon, into 63-degree territory. So, I mean, we're barely up there at all, but still, certainly trying to climb the thermometer. Over the next couple of days, we're going to see temperatures that look a whole lot like this, with 50s and 60s stuck across most of Kentucky. 50s out east because they really didn't get to warm up because they had more rounds of rain through the day today. As we look, got an area of low pressure spinning, keeping the showers and the cloud cover alive. It has been impacting the weather almost every single day this week, and it will continue to do so all the way into Sunday. I'll track it hour by hour. Coming up, guys, here in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. A scathing report today from the state auditor's review of the Department of Criminal Justice training.
Auditor Mike Harmon says he discovered unnecessary and excessive spending, and that's not all. WKYT's Victor Puente takes a closer look at the report in our top story at 6:30.
The Secretary of the state's Justice Cabinet says they requested this audit after they uncovered poor management and misconduct by the previous administration of the Department of Criminal Justice training. The audit covers the last 10 years of operations at the DOJCT. Many of those issues involve the Kentucky Law Enforcement Foundation Program Fund, which is meant to be used for police training. But the audit says that money was used for operating costs and debt service. The new commissioner of the department took office in May.
And I want to express how deeply frustrated and disappointed I am with the prior leadership at DOCJT. And with the state of dysfunction in which they left this department.
Auditor Mike Harmon identified 10 major issues dealing with hiring and spending. That included CLEF money being used for engraved julep cups, watches, and catering. They also say the department used contracts with Eastern Kentucky University that allowed them to circumvent state employment laws. They say in one instance, the former commissioner's cousin was hired to edit the magazine the DOJCT publishes quarterly with a $158,000 salary.
And we found numerous examples of excessive and inappropriate spending, particularly given that the CLEP funds should be used only for specified law enforcement purposes.
EKU released a statement saying they would help the auditor's office in any way they could. While the Department of Criminal Justice training is on their campus, it's a separate state-operated organization. In Richmond, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The auditor says this report will be referred to the Executive Branch Ethics Commission for their determination as to whether there needs to be further investigation.
A former Kentucky Personnel Cabinet Secretary now knows his punishment for his role in a public corruption case. Today, a federal judge sentenced Tim Longmire to nearly 6 years in prison. Investigators say he used his influence to steer work for a Louisville company in exchange for cash payments and money for candidates he supported. Longmire apologized for his actions.
People of the Commonwealth and the folks at state government, and particularly to my community and family. Be that Mr. Longmire occupied not only a position of trust, but a very senior position in state government.
Longmire worked under former Governor Steve Beshear and briefly as a top deputy to Attorney General Andy Beshear. He must report to prison by December 7th to serve his 70-month sentence. He also has to pay $203,000 in restitution.
A man accused of abandoning dozens of horses at a Mercer County farm took a plea today for 9 of the 43 charges. This is Charles Burrell. He was arrested back in June. Investigators say he abandoned the horses without any food or water. Burrell's daughter, horse trainer Maria Burrell, was also charged in June with 43 counts of animal cruelty. She's still avoiding arrest by staying out of Kentucky. Repairs on a broken water line in Rockcastle County are complete. We reported on Monday about the water line that caused running water to stop for about 50 homes in that area. It took crews about a week to fix the leak because they were having a tough time finding it. But today, those homes now have running water.
A report card today for Kentucky schools. More students who graduated from high school were considered college and career ready.
The Department of Education says that number was 68.5% in 2016, which was better than previous 2 years. More students scored better in most grades and subjects.
And the number of schools and districts performing at the highest levels rose. But Fayette County schools dropped slightly. The district dropped down to the needs improvement category.
WKYT's Caitlin Sentner tells us about the drop and how one school is making a turnaround.
One Fayette County school has made some strides when it comes to test scores, and that's William Wells Brown. Overall, Fayette County schools have been ranked as needing improvement. That's one step below the district's proficient ranking last year. Bryan Station High School falls into the state's bottom 10 high schools, and conversely has Rosa Parks Elementary that falls in the top 10. If you merely look at test scores from last year and this year, you'll see William Wells Brown Elementary School scores dropped slightly, but if you look at the difference 2 years has made, you'll see their test scores have actually increased by more than 16%. A couple years back, United Way of the Bluegrass started sending volunteers into schools, including William Wells Brown. It's a program United Way hopes is tremendously helping students.
And so whether it's William Wells Brown or quite frankly any school in our 11 school districts or in Fayette County specifically, having people engaged in the educational process is absolutely important. And we think that over the next few months, years, we're going to see improved academic performance for all students.
We asked if Superintendent Manny Cock would be able to answer some questions on camera today, and we were told no. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
So to help us break down the numbers, we are joined now by Bridget Blom-Ramsey. Thank you for coming tonight on short notice. She is the executive director of the Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence.
She also served 6 years on the Kentucky Board of Education. We are glad to have you here. Fayette County is one of the big stories coming out of this report. What are your thoughts? What suggestions would you have for the district and how they can get these scores back up?
Well, Fayette County really needs to focus on closing the achievement gaps in the district, and that means lifting the education outcomes for African American students, Hispanic and Latino students, students with English language learning background, and students with learning differences.
Bridget, do you think that the Kentucky education system has made sustainable progress in terms of mending the gap there?
There's progress to be made to mend the gap. There are bright spots in the state. Floyd County is one. While Floyd County is very different than Fayette County, they have committed to high expectations for all students, and adults buy into that, and they're committed to teaching and learning in the classroom, and it's proving dividends.
So a bright spot there in Floyd County.
A bright spot, absolutely.
You know, I've heard people say that we have an old school education system in new school times. There's a school teacher who tweeted, You saying, we have gone from industrial to informational and education. What worked years ago must change with the times. You agreed. Tell us why.
And I do agree. While we've made great progress and we've updated things, our education system is largely what it was a century ago or more. So we need to ensure that students are not only mastering content in reading and mathematics, but they're also applying what they learn to be truly college and career ready. We see a lot of promise for things like career and technical education, which is not the vocational school of yesteryear, but in fact provides students an opportunity to receive certifications in high school and set them on a career path.
It's a complex issue, isn't it?
It is a very complex issue.
No
yes.
one simple answer
That's
to
right.
any of this.
That's right.
A lot at stake.
Thank you
Yes.
very much for joining
Thank
us
you.
tonight. Appreciate it. All right, to find out how your child's school did, you can simply go to WKYT.com, or you can look inside the WKYT News app for all that information.
A Central Kentucky teacher is overcoming adversity and giving her students a lesson in compassion. WKYT's Amber Philpott joins us with that story in less than 3 minutes on WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington.
And then a big night for the Big Blue fans camping out at Memorial Coliseum tonight. Dave Buzz Baker joining us live from the Madness Campout with sports. That's a little bit later. Think about it. When teachers plan for their school year, a lot of thought goes into how each lesson will be conveyed to those young minds.
For one Clark County 6th grade teacher, her students are learning lessons this year that go far beyond the classroom. Along with math, reading, and science, they're also learning compassion. In Christy Blackwell's language arts classroom at Baker Intermediate in Winchester, stories and learning come to life. Many students say she's their favorite teacher who can make any activity fun. Blackwell loves teaching, and her fellow teachers love her.
This summer has been a whirlwind, and it was a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, and I needed normalcy. I needed something to come back to and something to hope for.
It was that attitude that prompted so many of her fellow teachers and even her classmates to jump in and want to help Mrs. Blackwell. They've raised $8,000 on a GoFundMe page. They sold Be Well Mrs. Blackwell bracelets, and the students also made a quilt for her to take with her to chemo. What a gift that is. Yeah. It gives me chills to think about this story, Amber. But what an example she sets for all these students every day who watch her go through this process.
Yeah, one of the students said, we didn't even know Mrs. Blackwell could get something like this. But the reality is it does happen. A lot of these students were the ones that wanted to come up with these ideas. So for parents, gosh, that's something to really be proud of.
And what a gift in another way for her to still go to school and teach and be there, a part of all those young people's lives.
She said she just wanted some normalcy. This summer had been crazy after being diagnosed with cancer over the summer break. She just wanted to get back to her teaching, to her classroom, to the kids that she loves. And I'm wearing a Be Well Mrs. Blackwell bracelet myself, and she said that when she saw those bracelets and those being sold, she couldn't help but cry because she knew the support was there. And someone who has cancer, they need a lot of support, and she sure has it.
We hope she does well. Yes. Amber, thank you.
I'm in the First Alert Weather Center now with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. We wish her all the best. What an inspiration to her students and everyone who knows her.
And absolutely incredible. The weather, not incredible the past few days.
No, we've had quite a bit of rain. And actually, Sam Dick, once again, putting his iPhone to good use, got us some video. Take a look at this. And I always love this time of year in Kentucky, because when it changes into fall and the leaves start to turn colors, it's beautiful. But because of the rain, we are seeing a lot more leaves on the ground earlier than we normally would, right?
Yes, especially after yesterday's rain. You remember how heavy it was and steady it was there
it was
for a while.
a downpour for a while.
Yeah, and it just continued. Now, what's happened is we have had a lot of rain throughout the summer, and that keeps your leaves on the trees a little bit longer, and it keeps them to their normal color. So sometimes, especially when you have an event like yesterday, you lose the leaves without seeing the full beauty of the color. Now, we will see some color, but maybe not as colorful because of all that rain.
You can see it when you're driving out there now, though, a little bit, but hopefully this will be another pretty fall.
Hopefully we'll get at least some in, and we will in some areas for sure. I'm looking outside right now on 4 of our cams, and one of them here in Lexington, which includes the sun trying to break out. Why wasn't it here earlier today? Because that low that has been spinning and bringing us clouds and showers is still doing it. We're just catching a break. Don't fall into the trap. That won't last very long. It's 61 in London, 57 still in Moorhead, so certainly chilly, and we are certainly watching that big area of low pressure spin, bringing showers and even some thunder showers. So every once in a while, we catch a little flash of lightning and hear some thunder. in many locations across parts of eastern Kentucky and even right around central Kentucky as well, as the low that's impacting our weather continues to dominate the weather headlines here for us the next few days. So, hour by hour tour, we show you that rain still sticking around throughout the evening, overnight, and into your Friday. We'll start to ramp up again with the chances and perhaps even the coverage as we head through Friday. Going into Saturday, could become a little more widespread across parts of the area. Now notice what's happening though to our east. I think maybe a little more sunshine in eastern Kentucky at this point on Saturday, but still tracking that chance of rain around here by 4 or 5 o'clock on Saturday, and then wrapping in some cooler air that just continues to hang with us as well. This is the hour-by-hour run for Friday morning, upper 40s, low 50s. Look at this, stuck in the 60s again tomorrow, even cooler perhaps in some locations than we were today. Now, eastern Kentucky, because the low is shifting, you have a better chance to get maybe into the low 70s perhaps in some spots, and upper 60s out there. Here comes our 7-day forecast. If you're looking for that warm-up again, we'll have our return to normal, but it's next week. So you'll still have to deal with some rain chances here tomorrow, Saturday, and a very small chance on Sunday. But the recovery happens for a few days next week, and then we get another front that'll bring us right back to where we are right now, guys.
You don't strike me as a guy who likes to rake leaves.
I don't like to do much of anything.
Does anyone like to rake leaves?
That's true.
I'm just picking on him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
Anything else? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of excitement right now at Memorial Coliseum. Dave Buzz Baker joins us from the Big Blue Madness Campout live next.
Look out, it's time now for the Sports Buzz.
Dave Buzz Baker joins us live from the Big Blue Madness Campout. He's in the middle of all the fun outside Memorial Coliseum, along with Christy Thomas. Hi, guys.
How far away are you here?
I mean, how about that? It's a lovely and talented Christy Thomas that's here with us, actually, for tonight's big show.
Yeah, of course, but only alongside you. I'm really kind of
That's
just
because you're wearing those
co-host.
darn heels.
Oh, yeah, well, it happens.
And I look like I'm vertically challenged. Tonight from 7 to 10, UKathletics.com. It's Tent City Live. You can see the stage behind us. Cal and the guys are going to be by. We've got a cast of thousands that are going to be here.
We do. It's a great setup, though. We've got the Coca-Cola stage is set up. They've got a DJ that's been playing. The Acoustic Cats were here last night singing for the folks, so a lot of entertainment. A lot of things. This has really grown into kind of an event, more or less, not just camping out for tickets, but a lot of stuff going on. Free food being passed out. The women's basketball team was here last night giving out sandwiches.
Right.
So Papa John's will have some pizza out here tonight. Last year the guys gave that out. That's kind of the hit.
Yes, it did, right?
Highlight.
Sure.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a lot of fun. A lot going on.
Okay, this started yesterday morning at 5 a.m., 5 or 5:30, whatever. They had a false start and then they had to redo. It's kind of like a football game, and so they ran back. They got their spots. They've done it a little differently this year, but the excitement for this event hasn't gone down. This started in 1982. I think Christy was in like second or third grade at that point in time. But can you believe it that Joe B. Hall wanted to do something like this to increase interest in this basketball program, which is hard to believe that you would have to do that.
It is hard to believe that you have to do that. What's also hard to believe is that these folks are taking a week of vacation from their jobs to be able to come out here and do this.
Right.
It's not like they have lives, right? So they're putting all that on hold to be able to come out here, hang out, get some tickets to go see a practice. This is something I think other people in other areas of the country can't understand, that this is a practice they're getting tickets
True. Some weird stuff that you see out here as well, too. I was just walking by the tents, and I heard Neil Diamond. And I walked by, and it's these three guys in there drinking beer, and they said that they were Red Sox fans, and that was a Red Sox song. I said, if you like Neil Diamond and you got a thing for him, don't give me some excuse.
Doesn't everybody like Neil Diamond?
But that would be like you if I asked you to throw me some of that shade. I heard you say that. What?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
So we want to make sure you're staying up on the terms and that you know what's up. You've got teenagers. I can't believe you don't know this, right?
Well, they don't throw me none of that shade.
Well, the problem is,
however you say it.
Well, yeah, and where you heard me say this then was I was talking about South Carolina linebacker who was throwing some shade at BBN about how it's really very quiet in Commonwealth
How do you
Stadium.
throw shade? I don't understand. I grew up where you can pull the shade if it's too light.
Yeah, so, you're throwing out a little insult, okay? You got to give somebody a little insult. So you're kind of getting a little jab in without being super direct about it. So, you're kind of in a roundabout way, giving him a little bit of, which is what he was doing, right? He said it's Commonwealth Stadium was a weird place to play. It was quiet, all that nonsense.
Okay, all right. So no shade
you
tonight.
You need to know that term.
No shade tonight, but it is sprinkling right now. And these campers were out here, and it was pouring last night, and they'll be out here until Friday. Remember,
they don't care.
UKathletics.com, 7 to 10. You can catch all the action. Cal and the players here. We'll have more on it tonight at 11, but Guys, that's it from a shady Memorial Coliseum.
Dave and Christy, thank you. Where else can you get that kind of insight into life and sports than right here on the CW Lexington?
That is right. Well, ahead tonight on the CW Lexington, an hour of Family Feud is next. Then at 8, The Flash, followed by Supernatural at 9.
And over on WKYT, The Big Bang Theory at 8, The Big Bang Theory again at 9, Bull at 10, followed by WKYT News at 11.
Finally tonight, Lexington firefighters visited some students today to teach them about fire safety.
Children at Lexington Montessori School had a chance to get a close-up look at the crew's gear and, of course, the fire trucks leading up to Fire Prevention Week and the Fire Prevention Festival. The head of the school says the day is all about teaching children to be safe at home with fire.
What we hope to get out of today is more hands-on learning for these children, because that's what Montessori is.
Tucker says the day is also about helping children learn that firefighters are their friends and not people to fear. These are lessons it's never too early to start teaching your children about safety when it comes to fires.
And Jennifer and Jim, great timing because the temperatures are going to get colder. So that means fireplaces are going to get fired up, heating systems are going to be turned on. You need to be aware of all those things as we get into the colder part of the season.
Oh, because that's one of the big issues with fires this time of year, especially when we start to turn the old clock. With the electric heaters and other issues, maybe some maintenance that we need to take care of as well. So keep that in mind. And of course, those smoke detectors, we encourage you to check those often, not just when you're supposed to, often. Showers likely next few days, guys, here Friday, Saturday, and into your Sunday, a small chance. So got this cool little slot that hangs around Friday through Sunday, and then we're right back to where we should be this time of year with those 70s coming back. But they won't last because there's another shot of cool air that will follow those in.
But it's nice. They're coming back in time for Keeneland opening.
Perfect timing, yeah.
Thank you for watching us live here on the CW Lexington. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.